Hi guys, welcome to this new episode of Inspirations. That's my podcast about knitting and yarn dyeing. My name is Christelle, I'm your host, and this is I think episode 9, but I might be wrong. It will be put on in the front of the episode. So if it's your first time watching the podcast, thank you so much. So I'm French, I'm Christelle, I'm French. I'm an indie dyer and knitting designer. And I'm hosting this podcast every Monday, except today, because yesterday was a bank holiday, and so it's on Tuesday. Okay, so I have also, I'm going to do the whole shebang. I have a podcast, yes, that's this one, every Monday at 5. I have a newsletter sent out every Monday at 5, and the shop is usually updated on Mondays around the same time. Except with the exceptions of today. I've said that already. Okay, if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for watching the podcast. It is so good to be back for another episode. And today I'm going to cover several things. I'm going to start with projects, because I think we need to talk about that. I feel we need to talk about that, okay? We have to talk about that. I'm so proud I'm gonna explode. Then, a bit more about projects, about whips. Then, Colorways of the month, guys, for April. Okay, Sock Knitters Almanac, that's the name of the club. And I have 2 new colorways to show you. And last and not least is the latest Mairie magazine I have to talk to you about. Anyway, sorry about that. I'm wearing a project that I cast on, I think a year ago, and I've just finished it like a week ago. It's the broadleaf sweater by Wool & Pine, knitted in my own hand-dye yarn. So the main colorway is 1983, and the contrasting colorway is tennis ball. And I have a flock of minis there with several different colors. And so I think it's the most beautiful piece of knitting I've ever made. I'm so proud of it. I mean, it was a huge project for me because I'm not super, proficient at brioche. It's not something that I've practiced a lot, so it was quite the challenge, but I'm pretty happy about how it turned out. Obviously, there are mistakes that I, as a regular knitter, I would be happy to point out, but I will refrain from it because I think we collectively, as knitters, have to refrain from pointing to any insignificant mistake we happen to have made on our garments. So there are 2 mistakes on this one. I will not show them to you, okay? I won't do that. Staying strong. And so, it's basically 2 panels of brioche, and I've knitted this one with tennis ball as contrasting color in 1983, 2 strands, 1 extra thin fingering and 1 mohair and silk, knitted together, held together. And then for the back panel, same thing, but I used a bunch of minis in neon colors instead of tennis ball, and I changed colors. I started with the blue, and then green and yellow, orange and pink. And you could wear it 2 ways. You could have the panel with this side facing out, or you could have it facing in. And so because I couldn't decide, I decided to do this panel with the right side facing out and this panel with the wrong side facing out, because I think both are gorgeous. So I could definitively wear this like this on my back and this one on my front, because it's really symmetrical. And then once you've done, you join the sides with mattress stitch here and here, and then you pick up your sleeves and knit them in the round, basically. So yeah, I think it's there is some tutorials to make sure everything is neat and tidy, and I appreciated that very much. Two things. First one is the sleeves are super fitted. I mean, it's like a second skin, okay? And I actually didn't frogged the sleeves because I'm, you know, quite not motivated to do so. I don't want to prolong the life of this project as a whip. I wanted it to be a finished object, but it's so tight that the stitches are literally imprinted in my elbow when I rest my elbows on my desk. I have like, you know, like I have this imprint of knit stitches, well, of pearl stitches on my elbow. It's quite, I mean, it's painful. So I might to do something about that, because I think that this will create a hole in no time because it's so fitted. So yeah, that's not cool. And the other thing is, I mean, this is a boat or crew neck. It's a bit high on the neck. I think a few short rows would have taken care of that, but anyway, I still love it and I'm very proud of it. And yeah, it's definitely the most beautiful thing I've ever knitted. So proud. You want to see the back again? Okay, there you go. Isn't it gorgeous? It's so beautiful. Anyway, that's done. I'm so happy. And I wanted it to be done for my latest, you know, it was not this weekend, the one previous, this were, not the last weekend, not the past weekend, the one before that one. I wanted it to be finished for that show, that fiber show. But because it was outside and the weather was horrible, the weather was vile. I mean, it was so cold. I couldn't wear just that. I mean, it's so fitted I cannot possibly wear something underneath, okay? It has to be bare skin underneath. And so because I couldn't wear anything underneath and it was so cold, I had like 7 layers, one of which was self-heating, like a self-heating cardigan or some vest. So I was very frustrated. I couldn't wear it on the festival. So it was it was at my booth, but I was so, you know, I was itching to wear it because, you know, the feeling. Anyway, and then the other thing I cast on for another project. I know I'm bad. I'm super bad. I'm naughty, but I didn't cast on for all the things. For example, I resisted casting on the latest Mystery Car by Helen Stewart. I haven't cast on that project yet because I couldn't decide on the colors. As soon as I've decided, I will, you know, cast on. And it's a pie shawl. I love pie shawls. So I cast on a ranunculus. And guys, we need to talk about that. I don't know if you're familiar with the concept of tubular cast on for sweaters. In that specific pattern, the technique is just mind-blowing. I mean, I'm not a new knitter. I consider myself an experienced knitter, okay? This was a lesson in humbleness, humble something. Well, it taught me to be humble because I was so confused by the instructions. I didn't understand what the designer wanted me to do. I know she's very prominent. I know that that pattern, that specific pattern, has been knitted tens of thousands of times. Okay, so I started first time. I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I frogged. I tried and started the day after. Both were knots. I was like, pardon my French, what the fuck am I doing? What am I doing? I mean, guys, I was feeling like I was casting for a big sock, okay? You cast on only 30 stitches. I mean, it's needle 6mm. Obviously, it's a very big number, but still, I mean, 30 stitches? Are you kidding me? For 2 feet over my head? What? What the heck? Anyway, I frogged again. I was like, I don't understand. I've done something wrong. I must have missed a piece of information. So then the day after, it was daylight. First of all, I was more rested. It was like, you know, like in Star Wars, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke Skywalker was like, trust the designer, Christelle. Trust the designer. Just go with it. Just go one stitch at a time, okay? The force must be strong with her because so many people have knitted her pattern, so just, you know, just trust her. And I did, okay? I trusted her. Although I was feeling like knitting a big sock, obviously. And then on the 30, that became 60 stitches, she instructed to start knitting ribbing. I really felt like I was knitting a sock. And at some point, I read that at least 20 times, she said, remove the provisional cast on without doing anything else. Just remove it and you won't have any live stitches left. And I was like, what? How is it possible? What is happening? Oh my God. So I did it. I took a leap of faith. I did it. And it was magic. There was no live stitches anymore. I mean, I don't understand what I did. I don't understand how she managed to do that. I don't understand where this comes from. I think it must be from Hogwarts. Magic. Magic, and it fits over my head. Because the cable is too small, but the opening definitely fits over my head. Mind blown. Okay, so I had to take you through this because, I mean, it was a very hard time to let go. I had to let go. Anyway, this is on the needle. The yarn is Colorway of the Sock Knitter's Almanac from June last. Oh my God. My brain is dysfunctioning. Sorry about that, guys. So that's Fairy Tale. The colorway is called Fairy Tale, and that's from the Sock Knitter's Almanac, June 2023. And this is on Lurex, and this is on Mohair and Silk. And I'm knitting the two together. And I was curious about how Lurex would show off, would show up, would show how it look. Basically knitted together with Mohair and Silk in the same colorway, and it's gorgeous. I think it dims the Lurex, sorry, the hair, the mohair. I think it dims the Lurex quite a little bit, but in a beautiful way, and I still see the sparkle, so that's cool. Anyway, here it is. Just one question, guys, because maybe everybody else in the knitting community is completely at ease with this concept of starting like a sock and finishing with a neck opening. I mean, why doesn't everybody talk about that, about this technique? I mean, I've been knitting for like a few years now, and I've never come across this technique. Disclaimer: it's quite recent that I'm knitting sweaters, so that might be why. I'm a sock knitter and shawl knitter before anything else. So sweaters are quite new, maybe 4 to 5 years, nothing really recent. But still, this is quite a long time to never come across this kind of, I mean, and nobody's talking about it. A lot of people are talking about the pattern, ranunculus, it's been knitting over and over and over. I know it's very popular, but nobody, you know, shares that. I've not seen it anywhere. Anyway, maybe people have talked about it and I just didn't see the right media, or I don't know. Anyway, it was such an illuminating moment. I mean, such a revelation and such a thing I still don't grasp. I don't understand what I did. Just that it worked. I wouldn't be able to reproduce it without following the instructions like stitch by stitch, but it worked. Okay. Anyway, It's been a quite long first part, but I wanted to share that with you because it's been intense, okay? And now I want to share with you the colorway of the month. And first of all, I'm going to share this beautiful mood board to introduce the first colorway, the main colorway of the month, which is called La Lande, which is French for the moor, okay? If you're watching the podcast from a country like north of Europe, chances are you're very familiar with that type of countryside. I think you can find them more in Bretagne, in Brittany, and United Kingdom. And to me, it's a type of scenery that I associate a lot with classic literature, like Jane Eyre or The Secret Garden, or The Hound of the Baskerville, for example. And in some books, like The Secret Garden, at some point you can even feel like the moor is a living thing. It's like personification, really. It's like it's a character in its own right. And I really enjoyed those books and those stories, and I love that kind of paysage, really, that kind of, because it's bare, but at the same time it's not. It's full of life, full of colors, with heather and the purple and the green and the browns, and it can be scary and dangerous. It can be, you can get lost in it, like Jane Eyre. It can be mystery. It can be mysterious, like in The Hound of the Baskerville, where it's the scene of murders, or it can be very friendly and reassuring, like in The Secret Garden. It really has all those, all those facets, and it's really a picture that and a scenery that I love, and I wanted to share it with you and create a colorway to celebrate this scenery. I don't know if scenery is the right word, though. It might not be, but I hope you're that's a problem when you're shooting a podcast that is not in their mother tongue. Sometimes things can be a bit approximate, but I'm sorry about that. If it's not the right word. Anyway, here is La Lande. And just a little bit of info for you guys. La Lande designates the moor, but if you, in French you're putting it into plural, like les Landes, it's an area in France, like a specific area. I don't think it's a département ou une région, but it's really a place you can go. It's very popular for summer vacation. I think it's like where is it? Les Landes. I'll put a Mimizan. Mimizan is in Les Landes. Oops. I went for a couple of vacations, couple of years. It's a very nice place, very beautiful coast of the Atlantic. It's beautiful. And here the colorway. So it's not Les Landes, it's La Lande, singular, like the moor. And the different bases. This is extra fine and silk, so 75% merino's extra fine and 25% silk in fingering weight. And so you have, the base is natural. I didn't tamper with the base. I didn't put anything for the base. Just layers of crushed berries, amethysts, ochre, and different shades of, yellow-green. This is on Lurex. And then I completed it with a lot of speckles. So it's a very, very delicate colorway. Lots of nuances. This is an extra fine fingering. And my two favorites of this first batch are MCN, which took the dye beautifully, and the speckles are gorgeous. Lovely. And Stellina, because I love golden speckles on a golden background. I think it's gorgeous, like very precious. There you go for La Lande. And then contrasting color is more of a companion, not a contrasting one. And it's called Sentier, which is the French word for path, like the path on the moor, or also in the forest, like forest path, for example, so Sentier. And so it's basically an ochre, between brown and ochre, with lots of speckles. So it will be like a semi-solid when you knit it, but with a lot of textural speckle interest, so very nice to knit up close. And then when you wear it, there will be this optical mixing happening, and it will really look like a beautiful semi-solid. This is on MCN. On Lurex. This is on extra fine silk. And the last one, my favorite again, is Stellina. So that's golden Stellina. And I think it's a beautiful. So here you are for the 2 colorways of the month. I hope you like them. I hope you love them. They're both available in the shop as a pre-order. So turnaround time, dyeing turnaround time is approximately 4 weeks max. I hope it will ship before the end of the month of April. That's what I'm aiming for. And then in the shop again today is the 3 months club. So how that works, when you buy the 3 months club, if it's the main colorway, so that's La Lande, for example, for this month, you will get main colorways of the Sock Knitter's Almanac for April, May and June, and the club will ship mid-June, starting mid-June, between mid-June and end of June. And if you are choosing the contrasting 3 months Sock Knitter's Almanac, it will be Sentier, okay, and same thing, it will be Sentier for April, then another colorway for May, and again another one, so 3 total for June, and shipping will be starting mid-June. And next week, next Monday in the shop, we'll be happy to put some pre-orders for previous colorways of the Sock Knitter's Almanac from April. So April 2021 was Gourmandise. I will show you all the knitted samples next Monday, but you will have Gourmandise, you will have Teacup, that was 2022, and you will have Rose des Sables and Fleur de Cactus, that were the 2 colorways from 2023. So each and every one of those colorways will be available in the shop next Monday, and I also will share with you in the podcast the little knitted and crocheted samples, so you can have a look at how they knit up. And that's almost it, but I want to share with you the latest Mourit magazine. So it's a Scottish magazine on crochet, which is absolutely gorgeous. I love that magazine so much. And I'm very happy and proud to have a collaboration with Émilie Houdard, who is a French crochet designer. And she used one of my yarn, actually 2 of my yarns, to create a pattern, a shawl pattern, which is called Dualité. And so the colorways are shortbread and sous-bois. I had a very hard time remembering the name of the second colorway in the French version, but I have it now, it's sous-bois. So here it is. And if you don't know Mourit, it's a gorgeous magazine. It's of the highest quality, and the patterns are gorgeous. So if you have the occasion, look at that. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm almost out of battery, guys. I'm going to share a last one, and then I'm going to say bye-bye. So next podcast will be on Monday, April the 8th. And in the meantime, take care, happy knitting, happy crocheting, and I'll see you guys next Monday. Bye!